My interest in publishing anything about Bible notes is to help people who may be interested in compiling their own. Anyone who is interested in the Bible enough to crack one open or to open the app probably has their own method of collecting and keeping the things that are important to them. For me, Bible study is broken down into two parts. One is process and the other is product. My process involves starting with the new paper copy of the Bible, preferably with large margins because I like to write in it. I will go through a copy of the Bible at least once, like going through a garden and picking up all the good flowers and admiring them as they are. When I am finished going through the copy of the paper Bible, I will record all my notes so that when I give the paper copy of the Bible away to a friend or a family member, I won't lose all the record of the notes that I had in there. My notes usually consist of only 3 different streams: cross-references, topics, and notes. One of my overarching methodologies has been organic. And if you're into healthy foods, you know that organic begs an explanation and a clarification. Organic cross-references would be not taken out of a book or taken from the margins of a study Bible, but the cross-references which most of the time occurred to me organically as I was reading through the scripture. Now, of course, some of them are going to be common cross-references, yet some of them are unique. Unique, in a word, is what I would describe as organic Bible study, which transitions us into topics. These organic topics are not exactly something that you would find in a topical treatment of Scripture. A lot of these are going to be word-for-word matches. While some of my topics are word-for-word matches, like apostle, or phrase-to-phrase, like then I will know I am the Lord, most of them are ideas that are represented by a word. For example, coming up short is not a phrase that you'll see in the text of Scripture, but it is certainly an idea that reoccurs. The notes are there for when my reaction with Scripture does not fit into cross-references or topics, but it requires a commentary to wrestle with the text, to marvel at it, to attempt to explain it to my future self. My process has always been paper Bibles, yet I have this body of electronic records, and never the twain shall meet. This has meant a lot of duplicated records through the years, especially when I run up on some of my favorite scriptures, which I tend to mark in my same favorite ways. For the convenience of the editability, I've been using a spreadsheet as a database, and whenever I need any help from columns or to run formulas, I can do that. But it's pretty much a simple format that I do have a feature where I can put ranges in, and I have a couple of unique numbers and personally relevant identifiers. And one product, and when I say product, I'm defining it as a production of the process, not necessarily an item to sell. Another word that might be used is artifact, which sounds more organic and less commercial. But one product or artifact that I have always wanted to have is to have access to my notes on call and easily. And I've tried many forms. I've posted my full set of notes on a blog, on a website, but they never had the portability that I was hoping for, even though their presentation was nice. My latest iteration, I'm using AppSheet from what is now owned by Google to interact with my database and produce an easily searchable app. It's been quite nice to sit in church and be able to pull up the references that I have a history with and not lugging around a big paper Bible. But even though if I could put my Bible notes in a big paper Bible, that would be the best artifact ever. For 2022, I'm already starting to use Obsidian to keep all my notes straight. And some people call it a second brain. And I have found that to be true. It's a very handy tool which has a lot of capabilities that writers and note takers can greatly benefit from. There's a lot of great resources already out there on keeping Bible notes in Obsidian. I've been around long enough to see Logos go from a $600 desktop program to a subscription service, which is exactly why I never wanted to buy in. What Obsidian does is to put all your notes in an extensible and future-proof simple form called Markdown. It's kind of like a text note, but with the benefit of the ability to make it pretty with bold and italics and tables. So the main ethos of doing anything with the Bible is to get out the good news. One of my objectives is continually reading the Bible over and over is that God is everywhere. His word is a testimony of that, and he is worth marveling over. So if you're into making notes on the Bible, maybe this will help you.